Alright, what is up? What is good? The Wolf is here, and in this little update video for the Resident Evil 8 story predictions and everything, I wanted to make something that was a little bit of an update of just so there was leaks, there was rumors, there was leaks, and usually I'm not gonna make a big habit of like going over leaks and rumors, but I think there might be some credit to something here, and it got my brain kind of just going. It got me thinking of like what could be the next thing. So, what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is there's going to be a prequel, a Resident Evil 8 prequel, which will be in the same vein as what you're seeing here of Resident Evil 7, where we go into maybe facilities, a blue umbrella, maybe as Chris Redfield coming back to Blue Umbrella to talk and see what's going on. Now I could see us like going into the facility, starting to find out more and more about the viruses, what's going on in the world, the reason why everything is happening. As I said, I think they're going to be kind of retconning, but taking like bits and pieces of 4, 5, and 6, and just kind of redoing the story. So one of the things that we were hearing or are hearing is, so here's the list, the rundown of everything. So first of all, the rundown is saying that Ethan will be returning as a playable character. Resident Evil 8 was tested last year. I could see all that being, because Resident Evil 8 is absolutely in development. You can almost guarantee it. Ethan returning as playable character, absolutely. Like I said, I can see him and the whole cast returning for Resident Evil 8 as like a big mashup of all the characters coming together. It will not be called Resident Evil 8, but will have a clever title. Now that's one. I think that rumor or leak is leading to a prequel. And I'll get to that in a second. The game will be in first person like RE7. Now here's where the prequel thing that I'm thinking since Resident Evil 7's VR mode was so popular and did so well that everybody really loved being inside the house, going toe to toe with the molded, seeing Mia go absolutely insane, and seeing everything that happened, having this fight right here and going one-on-one with her where you have to keep smacking her with the axe and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you go downstairs and she finds you, and it's like being inside the house, having this whole thing happen, seeing that transformation in first person, in 3D, in VR. I think that Capcom really sees that there's some very good potential to bring something with this back. I don't think Resident Evil 8 is going to have a VR mode, but the prequel, just make a VR experience prequel, something that is maybe a few hours long, something that just whets the appetite of the VR stuff and gives us another whole experience like this, but it sets up Resident Evil 8. Also, it would help out like PlayStation and PlayStation, Steam, Oculus, all that stuff. And all the VR stuff. It would help that out by selling more units, and it helps out everybody in the long run to make something like that. That's the reason why Resident Evil 7 VR was such a good thing for Sony, because it sold a lot of PlayStation VRs. And still to this day, one of the absolute best VR experiences on PlayStation VR. So if you have not checked it out, I definitely recommend checking it out. So with that being said, I'm just going to run the Resident Evil 3 trailer in the background here. With that being said, gameplay starts in a village leading up to a castle. Again, going back to my kind of prediction of, okay, it might be Resident Evil 4, but remade and retold in a brand new way. So reimagining of Resident Evil 4, take the events of 4, 5, and 6, add it into on top of Resident Evil 4's events somehow. Maybe there is some flashback moments or something, or maybe there's some DLC that we go to where Resident Evil 5 takes place. I can't remember. I want to say it's Africa. Sorry if that's wrong. But going to that and then going over to, I mean, Resident Evil 6, the story was very overblown, and I will admit that it was a very cool cinematic. I still like Resident Evil 6 more than Resident Evil 5. Overall, it feels like that action game that Resident Evil is always trying to be, and it was that. Being in the city and seeing, I'm pretty sure, what was it, like Japan or something like that, or Tokyo or something like that. And the virus takes over the whole world, in that aspect. So there is news reports and everything on Resident Evil 7, and I do want to get into that, but hold on one second. So the environments will be rural, snowy, and mountainous, possibly Europe, which would coincide with Resident Evil 6 storyline, being brought over, pieces of that being brought over into Resident Evil 8 to make a brand new storyline out of it. Regular zombies will be appearing instead of the molded from RE7, which makes sense. I will get into that in a second. There is a persistent, shadowy female enemy that will follow you, but will dissipate if shot. That sounds like the little girl Evelyn is coming back from Resident Evil 7, or a form of an enemy like that, which is trying to create more of the virus and bring more. But here's the thing, though. I still say Wesker is the main bad guy. It could be that the a shadowy female enemy is Wesker's sister, which we have seen before in the side games of Resident Evil. Maybe they bring her back as a little more of a prominent character, because she was actually kind of, I don't want to say a cool character, but she was kind of interesting, just to think that, oh, there's another Wesker out there. Oh, what if Wesker and his sister, and I said it back when I was playing through the games that featured Wesker's sister. I can't actually remember what Wesker's sister. Alex Wesker, Wesker's sister. She definitely had, like, she was trying to use the virus and everything to bring in different strands of the virus. I think if I remember correctly, she was doing something like that in the side game. So anyways, T-Phobos completion, there we go. So basically what I'm thinking, maybe Alex Wesker returns, is a shadowy figure, the female enemy, and she is kind of like the female that's haunting you. And I seen somebody say PT, and I was like, oh, that's actually a good call. So maybe she is kind of like that, where it's going to be the horror aspect bringing back the spooky scariness that Resident Evil tries to do it in that way of like a PT style. Something that a lot of people still really love PT. So, and it's just that creepiness of somebody's always behind you. So bring that back in for Resident Evil 8 to have that in some levels, not the whole game, a few areas here and there. Just sprinkle it in, use it in moderation, just to give us a little bit of a spook factor. Then also wolf-like creatures that will attack the player in certain areas. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe Wesker's sister ends up getting taken out by one of the wolf characters by getting bit, and then she turns into like this werewolf kind of creature or something, and then that's how you take Wesker's sister out in this game. I don't know, spitballing could be kind of cool. Chris Redfield will be returning in some capacity. Absolutely. As I said, I could really definitely see, like I said, Chris, Claire, Jill, Leon, Ada, all of them coming together to work underneath the blue umbrella, which I will get into in a second, and go forth with just trying to take on Wesker and this whole big plot of world domination, of destroying everything because he wants to create a brand new world underneath his vision or something. Which would be the classic bad guy thing. Resident Evil is known to do the classic bad guy tropes. I don't know. It makes sense to me that that's the way they might be going with it. So, as I said, a VR experience, bring that in for a prequel, and then that goes in, which would follow. So whatever happens at the end of Resident Evil 3, Hopefully we don't have multiple endings in Resident Evil 3. I mean, oh yes, they have already said that there's no multiple endings in Resident Evil 3. I think that is because they're extending the story, first of all, and I know a lot of people are going to be mad about that, no multiple endings, but I think it's going to be good for a good reason. So they extend the story some in Resident Evil 3, adding some plot fillers and everything, but also building up to what will eventually be a few years later down the road that will end up being Resident Evil 7 storyline and Resident Evil 8 storyline. And Ethan also will be a major part in Resident Evil 8, as in Ethan is now like, because all these characters are just regular people. Ethan goes in to look for Mia, goes through his whole adventure and everything. So now Ethan is essentially on the same level as all of them. So here's where we get into this. Oh, I'm warning you right now, there's spoilers ahead. Oh, there's spoilers for Resident Evil 7. If you want to play Resident Evil 7, you better turn back right about now. Oh, it's spoilers! Warning! So, let's go back to Resident Evil. That's Resident Evil 3. So, the endings for Resident Evil 7. Let's just go back to this. So, we find Mia, and there's 2 different endings for Resident Evil 7. I think one of these endings will be canon. I think the canon ending was actually Mia dies. So Zoe, I think, is going to be like, every Resident Evil has the male and the female characters that carry over. I think Zoe is going to be the female character that carries over. I kind of like Mia more. Sorry, I don't know. It's just like it makes, the game makes you want to fall for Mia, I guess, in a way, because Ethan, it's trying to it's an FPS. First of all, it's a POV game, so they're trying to make you feel like Ethan. Then they're trying to make you feel how Ethan would feel towards Mia. So they're setting you up to lose somebody that ends up trying to be important to you. That's what that's the reason why you do a POV first-person shooter. With that being said, Zoe, you just lost Mia, and then you go in here, you save Zoe. He calls Chris Redfield, as we'll see, to do all that. So Zoe also has some power to her. She crystallizes and everything. I think this is probably going to be the canon ending for Mia, where Ethan ends up stabbing her, and spoilers. I'll probably have a spoiler thing before this, but that is most likely going to be the canon ending. Of course, then Ethan comes in and right here takes off the helmet.
I'm Redfield. I'm glad we found you.
The fuck took you guys so long?
That right there makes me think that where he gets the anonymous tip from is Blue Umbrella. They want to recruit Ethan because he has ties, or he has something in his genes that he can stand toe to toe with all the creatures and everything in all this T virus and the viruses going on and everything. So I think he got recruited by Blue Umbrella. They seen that open. They were like, "This is a golden opportunity. Let's bring him in to go through and find Zoe." I think Blue Umbrella's main objective is to find Zoe, and then Joe, he just ends up getting like involved in it in the middle of everything. Joe might also be there too. Like that might become. No, we're gonna have Barry, so he's not the new Barry, but he's gonna probably become like a side character. I feel like. So, Ethan, once again, I think out of kind of, the grieving process, he probably turns himself into a lot more of a badass than just a regular person, just like every character in Resident Evil is doing right now. Throughout this whole thing.
Goodbye.
And of course, flies off into the sunset.
They say that when one door closes, another opens.
setting up for him
A door closed tonight.
going into Blue Umbrella.
And what a long night it was. But not just for me. Me and I weren't the only victims here. So were the Bakers. It was that thing, Evelyn, who made them that way.
A very nice look at the brand new Umbrella logo. So the blue logo, definitely. So the reason why I say that the ending where Mia dies is probably the more or less canon ending. And thank you for everyone that posted these videos. I'm not trying to showcase your video. I'm just trying to showcase the cutscene in the game because I don't actually have it recorded myself. But Chris goes through all this, has his moment.
You need to find a way to shut down the server. There may be some transformer relays you can.
Now the person talking in the background right there, I think.
Okay, that worked. Gonna be some pissed computer techs in here, but
From your river.
So there's a woman, I can't remember who exactly it is, but if you know the Matrix, like everybody has the operator, and they're always looking over. So I think there's going to be like this whole team of people that are like looking over situations of where everybody is, and then planning the missions. You go back to maybe a central hub, which is the Blue Umbrella HQ, and then you go on the different missions with the different characters. I think that'd be kind of a cooler setup than Resident Evil 6 did. I think that's where they're going to be taken from Resident Evil 6 though, and having all the characters be have their own chapters in the game, and then they can even introduce new DLC by adding more characters possibly, or just different DLC for each character and whatnot. I don't know. Again, spitballing, could be, might not be. I think it'd be pretty cool. So now another big one is
there's a call for you. You need to take it back at the camp.
Chris gets a call.
Zoe!
Joe is actually the one that saves Zoe, by the way. Not
Wake
really
up,
Chris.
Zoe!
Joe, what happened to her? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
But
Don't
as
you
we can
worry
see
about
once
me.
again, Zoe
It's all
has
over now.
some like mystical kind of magical power stuff, which is the reason why I think that Blue Umbrella, they contact Ethan to go in to save Zoe, but they use Mia as like the tool to get him to go there, because I mean it's his wife, so of course he's gonna zoom right over there. I don't think they really know anything about Joe. I think they know about the Bakers.
Go, 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 go! Don't move! Get your hands up! Get down! Weapons
Joe's
down.
kind of the wild card.
Weapons down! It's all right. You must be Zoe Baker. Who the hell's asking? Chris Redfield. Been looking all over for you. We're here to help.
They want to recruit you, basically. That's what I'm getting from it. And then of course,
You're gonna be just fine.
it has kind of a Silent Hill 3-ish vibe to it.
I was trapped with those monsters for 3 years. All of them trying to kill me. I can't believe it's finally over.
Once again, character building of, okay, so Zoe's been through the ringer. She was just this regular girl. The virus, hits. It doesn't turn her into a monster, but it does like unlock something. It still makes them kind of feel like the X-Men, but I don't know. It's like the virus is unlocking something in her. So I think that she might be a playable character in Resident Evil 8, either DLC wise, where they add like a new chapter in to make her a playable character, and maybe even Joe, which I know a lot of people really enjoyed the Joe running around just punching zombies in the face or molded in the face and everything. That could be something. So the male and the female character for a DLC pack or something in Resident Evil 8, and then of course the family touching moments.
Someone wants to speak to you.
And this right here is another big tell.
Zoe,
Zoe, are you there?
It's you.
Ethan is working
I don't believe
with
it.
them,
You actually made it.
We both did.
and that
You
they want
didn't
to
forget
recruit her.
about me.
I told you I'd send help. And I always keep my promises.
Thank you, Ethan.
So, once again, I don't know. I see it being that. All right, we're gonna pop the trailers back on here. I really see it being that Resident Evil 2 and 3 are kind of rewriting the story. Resident Evil 7 set up for something. It kind of, when I played through Resident Evil 6, and then I went through the ending of Resident Evil 7. I'm like, wait a second, it feels like they're kind of setting up for like a Resident Evil 6 situation, because there's also the news alert on I think it was, what was it, the family DLC or whatever it was, that that the world is infected and all that, and like Resident Evil 6, that's what the whole thing about that was. So this is like Resident Evil 3 is going to be the regular Umbrella trying to cover up their screw up. Resident Evil 8 is going to pick up where it's Blue Umbrella after all that, after. So Resident Evil 3, I think the extended nature of the story is going to be you taking down Umbrella, and then the secret ending is going to be the formation of Blue Umbrella. Resident Evil 8 is Blue Umbrella in full swing. There might be some time skipping going on, and I hope people don't get very confused on it. But I think that's also a big reason why I would definitely see a prequel like VR experience come through and show what Blue Umbrella is all about, show what all the characters have been up to in the years leading up to, or the big moments leading up to Resident Evil 8 happening. So I don't know. I feel like we need a prequel somewhere in there. I feel VR would be like the perfect thing to do it. So, anyways, yeah, that's my take on all this rumor information. I think people are seeing it as one game. I don't think they really want to see it as maybe a VR game or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyways, this video has been going on for a bit. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. You can check out all the social media stuff at Warwolf on Instagram, Twitter, where I do post a lot of stuff on there about all this and everything. I make videos as much as I possibly can when I can find time enough to. I'm trying to run through like Resident Evil's games, Final Fantasy games, and do a bunch of streaming and everything else. So like I said, I make these videos as much as I possibly can. I also got a music channel if you want to check that out. It's music covers. And yeah, that's Music Power, and it's all in around here. You can click on links and stuff and go to all that stuff. Anyways, I'm doing a lot of busy times. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for stopping by, and I will see ya next time.